Hey, welcome to Andrew's Things. Here's a quick tip on how to fix a DUIK stretch bug for rigging an arm. So I'm currently using version 16.2.24 and I've rigged these arms enough to know that every now and then this will happen, and it happens not all the time. And this is an issue that's probably quite niche, but I thought it'd be good if anyone else comes across it. So I've got an arm layer here made with stroke layers, and it was drawn inside of Illustrator, so all the points are perfectly aligned. And I've also got this hand layer. And inside the strokes there is a patch, the sleeve, and a bit of skin, just so, you know, when you stack them up it looks okay. All of the paths are linked together by expression, so they're all looking at the one inside the sleeves. So if I drag these points around, you can see what I mean. And what I want to do is grab the path inside that sleeve layer that I was talking about, and I'm going to go to the constraint tab inside DUIK, and I'm going to add some bones. And the blue ones are actually for the handles, which I don't need, so I'll right click to select all the same layers and delete them. I'll select the bones and find which one's the arm, forearm, and hand. I'll go back to the rigging tab and click on the arm, which gives me the structure for the hands. And I'm just going to move this endpoint to match my hands. Let's parent the corresponding bones, so arm to arm, forearm to forearm, hand to hand, and also our hand graphic over here. Have our structure selected, and let's go back to the constraints tab and click on auto rig. Cool, let's test this out. Yeah, so everything works, pretty much working as expected. Let's just go to the stretch function and see what happens. So every now and then when I make arm rigs with a lot of bones, this tends to happen, and I'm not exactly sure what happens, but you can see that like the structure doesn't keep its position around where the wrist should be, and the elbow and wrist kind of slide off. And I found that for some weird reason, it could be a naming or a parenting issue, but I found that if you take the hand graphic and just parent it to the hand controller instead, it just seems to work. So let's do that. Parent it up, and then now if I drag the stretch function out, you can see that it actually keeps, and it's stretching like how we expect it to. So let's just say our hand needs to do this movement, and then something happens to the graphics, say the character gets taller or something, and we might need to move the arm up or down. This is a pretty good use case for the stretch function. I'm just going to slide these keyframes along and then copy it at the start. Let's change them to a hold keyframe. Now another method is actually just moving the midpoint, which is the elbow bones, and I like creating a new null for this. So let's go layer, new, layer, new, null, and then let's move the anchor point to the middle, so Control, Alt, and Home, and let's move it to where the elbow is. Let's select our layer, go Shift and parent it to the elbow. And now I'm just going to copy the name of my controller and change it to an elbow. And also maybe make it a guide layer so it looks the same. Switch that to a green layer. Let's parent it back to our forearm structure and parent our bone to the elbow null. So the position is 0, 0 because it's sitting in exactly the same place as the elbow bone. So the way to control this is just to move the elbow null in the X. So if we want it shorter, we pull it back on X, and vice versa. So let's say our hand needs to go a little bit further than what we have here. And let's watch that play down. That looks pretty weird. It's like fully extended. We pretty much just slide the elbow back with the null, so it still plays nice without rig. It can go in other axes, but I do find that if you pull it in the Y, it looks a little bit weird. I think it's because it's not really perpendicular to where the elbow is, but otherwise, this is what I would do. So yeah, that's 2 ways which you can fix this little bug. Maybe even add extra controls to your elbow. So I hope that's useful to someone. I know it's pretty niche. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys next time.